Hi, and thank you for watching the 39th show of the Sunday Call for TargetedWest.com. I'm DJ Chris, moderator. You're probably watching me on YouTube at bitchute or archive.org. Thank you for watching. It is December 25th, Christmas Day, the Christmas evening after Christmas, the 25th, and we're here with Laura and friends, just hanging out and enjoying our Christmas meals and singing and laughing and having a Christmas merry time. So this video will be just about talking casually and no real topics except gratefulness and holiday topics. So it's open mic, of course, and anybody want to talk, come on in. And of course, I'm here in beautiful Lodi, California. Laura, are you there? Laura was having technical problems. Are you there? There you are.
Am I still cutting out?
I hear you.
Okay, great. I just wanted to say happy holidays, everyone, and happy New Year early. And it's been a hell of a year, but as far as our partying goes, I've seen some really good things happen this year, and I've seen some actual progress on the ground. I believe that our best years are yet to come. And I just want to thank everybody in the community that has helped me and helped me grow, helped me flourish, almost, but helped me survive. And I appreciate it. I'm very grateful for everyone.
That's very nice to hear. And of course, you're working on a new poem book.
Yes, I am, and I'm grateful to maybe have that out by the end of the year. Perhaps.
Very nice.
And I don't know if people ever do, their goals or stuff for the new year. That's always helpful for me to write down what I want to accomplish this year. Doesn't have to be big, but goals are always important, as little as they are, as big as you want them to be. But I did accomplish 3 of my goals this year, so that is pretty awesome. Moving up in the world a little bit.
Well, it's important when you're targeted and you have goals that you're able to achieve because you have so much extra resistance to trying to get there.
Yeah, and it's almost a miracle. I mean, you got to try it 3, 4, maybe 7 times sometimes to get things done. So any little triumph is awesome. We all made it another year.
Yes, we did, and we'll be hanging out together as a group and trying to work to come up with a solution. We're all working independently, and I think that's great.
Yep.
Many scientists work that way. They work independently and then they group together with results and talk.
Ooh, that's true. Many great ideas.
Yeah.
All of that.
Hi, DJ Chris.
Hello, Tranquility. Come on in. Tranquility is the webmaster and owner of TIEvents.org. Go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to very quickly say on behalf of myself and TIEvents.org, Merry Christmas to you, DJ Chris, and to everybody else that's here on the call. And as far as what I'm grateful for you, DJ Chris, and for all the help that you've given me since I started my website. Thank you so much, and thanks for all the support that you give all the rest of our community with your calls and everything else that you do. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and that's what I'm here for, is to help people out. That's what I do. and I appreciate your website, and I refer to it often. So keep up the great work, and we'll be talking more in the future. So thank you again for that. Yeah.
For sure. Thank you. Talk to you later. I'm going to go on mute.
Okay, very nice. Thank you for that. Laura, are you still there? Is your friend that's helping you edit still here?
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, I'm here.
So you're planning on buying, I will talk about DJ equipment. It all works fine. Just try to get the best deals because it all sounds pretty much the same. Probably you could, people buy and sell stuff. You can always get used stuff too and get whatever you want. So.
Yeah, well, I've done this a bunch and I always get better every time I go on a shopping spree to get a new setup. And one thing I've learned is that I always end up upgrading. So so I'm just might as well just get what I need all at once the first time.
There you go. And you're planning on doing you want to do a TI festival for the TI community, which is a great idea.
Yeah, and there's a lot of us in Colorado, but I love to travel. So, I'd like to set them up all over the place, even in other countries.
Yeah, and advertise it, and we can get our word out, and any venue or avenue we can take to spread the word, to tell people about this program we're in would greatly help.
Yeah, and people need to get out of their houses more often and get with other TIs and people that they can relate to that aren't gonna, gang stalk them and, perk them. And, maybe this would be a good way for people to just get out and have fun and, enjoy life and dance and listen to good music.
Oh, yeah.
I think we could all use that. What do you think, Laura?
Oh, yeah. I've been planning something like this for a while. I have a couple of successful TIs that want to come and bring their tips and tricks and how they do things. One of them is really into the metal detox, and she's very healthy. And another one does something with a spectrum analyzer, and he's able to, anyway, he has very few symptoms, and he's able to survive. And they both agreed to come and talk at that event. And I'd like to have good music, and anybody bring anything. I have a woman that did a quilt that kind of tells her targeting, tells a story of her targeting. I have some people I would like to, anything to express whatever you're going through in life. You could bring, almost showcase your art, I guess, if you wanted to do that. Something like that. There'll be food and music, and it should be a good time.
And Laura, I sent you a video actually of an event that I had thrown, and all of my events. I didn't mention this earlier. I always do live art. I have live artists there, and I try to have people who teach art classes. And the goal of my event is always to showcase as much art as we can in the time slot allowed. Live paintings, sculpting, anything that's considered art.
And that's probably where I got the idea.
Oh, yeah, and an opportunity for people to sell their art and make money off their art, too.
I can teach people how to make websites.
There you go. And I've been putting together bumper stickers for years, so I might have a little, that says stuff like no 5G and your brain has no firewall. I might sell those $1 a piece. I've been collecting and buying those for years.
That's a good idea.
There's all kinds of years that people kind of, will dismiss or poo-poo that I've seen get really big. There was a kid a couple years ago, I remember he came on the calls and he made up stickers that said Freedom for Targeted, but he put them everywhere. And that gave me the idea to use sidewalk chalk because that's kind of littering, but I loved the idea, and I loved the fact that he was just putting his message out there everywhere he went, on bus stops, and, just to get his message out there, and it does make you feel better. So I took the idea and used sidewalk chalk for our second event and wrote no 5G right under the New York Post. It was right under the Capitol. It was right, kitty corner from the Capitol, and we did our protest. I wrote no 5G so the guys up top could see it in sidewalk chalk. We got kicked out that year pretty quickly.
Yeah, we when I used to donate to ACT UP, we used to spray paint silence equals death on the cement with spray paint. Oops.
Well, that's legal. See, I like to be creative, and I stay legal. You've got to stay legal. So if you're spreading your message, yeah, I like to stay legal always, but there's creative ways to do it. I had a manager that I mentioned the other day. He wanted me to bid on a job, and he said, "You didn't bid on that job." I go, "I don't have my phone with me." He goes, "You don't have your phone with you?" I said, "Well, I bid on jobs with it, but I don't carry it around with me. I can go out to my car and bid on the job." He was so confused. He couldn't understand. "You don't have your phone with you?" I said, "I don't carry it on me because it's not healthy." And he said, "What?" It just kind of came out, and so the next time I went into work, he didn't have his phone on him. He keeps it on his desk now. He must have looked it up or looked into it or something. But, there's ways that you can open people's eyes all the time, every day in a subtle.
I don't carry a cell phone. I leave mine here. I don't talk to anybody on it.
Yeah, and my grandfather for years carried his cell phone on his right hip. I told him once, "Why don't you carry," because he had a hip replacement on that hip, and when that happened, I said, "Why don't you carry your phone on your other side?" And he said, "Why?" I said, "I don't know, because it makes more sense." And he had another hip replacement on that same side. He never listened to me. However, my grandmother, his wife, wouldn't touch a computer, and she knew better. She didn't carry a cell phone. So
yeah, you don't need. Why we don't need those things.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting though how some people will not even consider living without it, or have it leave their side even.
No, I agree. Well, everybody's so brainwashed, thinking they have to have it with them. It's like you're always trying to win the lotto by, swiping left or right. Anyway, if you're really watching this video, we're doing our Christmas Day show, and it's just being grateful and Christmas and holiday topics, whatever. Just open mic. So thank you for watching the video. And we're having somebody in the chat room tell me that not only is his sister getting telepathy, but so is his cousin, who's 27, and the cousin's handling it better. But that's multi-family, in one family. Isn't that amazing? And they'll say, the psychiatrists say, "Oh, that's genetic. That's why they're all hearing voices, genetic." Well, it's not always genetic. It can be synthetic.
I would like to say something real quick. A while back, I felt like I was having a heart attack or something, and I was like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with my chest?" And I called my mother, and I was like, "Hey, there's something wrong, like in my chest." She said, "Yeah, that's happening to me and your sister right now. So that makes 3 of us, and we're both." She said, "I'm on the way to the hospital. I'll be there in about 10 minutes. Your sister's been there for about 30 minutes, and you should just go to join the club." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's insane." And I just did breathing exercises, and I didn't go to the hospital, but we all had that at the exact same time in 3 different states.
Well, I concur with that, and I believe you. And I was reading a book, and the guy was describing his heart issue, and he was getting the effects, and they hit my heart at the same time, and I thought I was having a heart attack. But I do the breathing, and I relax, and I calm down, and it goes away. But, that's not uncommon, and with your background, they're multi-family targeting you, or multi-people family targeting you.
Freaky stuff, but very real.
Yeah, they throw your heart rhythm off enough to so your body and your brain think something's not right, and they make your heart hurt. They vibrate, and Brian too has mentioned that he gets a lot of problems with heart issues, and he's called 911. So. Oh, and caller 00, you've been remiss in your duty to keep me posted with Brian too. I think he's in France. I don't think he's in LA anymore. Or no, he was in New York. I don't know where Brian ended up. Oh, he's still in New York City. Okay, and yes, Huggy Bear, you are correct. It's to cause fear, and that fear makes you run to the hospital and charge up a bill that you can't afford and make yourself sick by going to the hospital and getting something else, or having them misdiagnose you and put you on drugs.
Fear spells false evidence appearing real.
Oh, I remember that in AA. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm quite familiar with that one.
Yeah, all my fear is false, mostly, but some of it's justified.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely justified, but yeah, there's some scary stuff, like if from what I see, looking around, I'm about to die from so many aspects, but, it's happened a million times, and I'm still here.
Kyle, your mic's on.
But it looks pretty scary sometimes.
Hold on, let me adjust CPAL's mic. Hold on here. Oh. There, he's fixed. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Yeah, that fear is bullshit. I hate it. I kind of did, but yeah. Can you repeat?
What I said is, and this ain't the first time this happened a million times. I've been sitting there scared to death, like, oh my God, I'm not going to be here in the morning, and I'm still here. But if what I see is real, but it's not, there's I'm dead on so many aspects, I'm not even going to get into what they are. They're bizarre and wild, but they're not real. But they sure have a good, they're pretty good at making it look real. But, I don't get scared like I used to. But, yeah, it's a lot of fear, brain hacking and instilling fear into us.
Yeah, when you're fearful, they think you're more apt to follow instructions and follow what they want you to do. Just how the whole world works is based on fear and chaos, order through chaos.
Yeah, the whole thing, the system's designed to implode on itself. To have us all imploding on each other and imploding on ourselves.
Oh, I know. They love self-harm and all that. And, they want you to off yourself, which none of us are going to do on this call. You all promised me that. But, yeah, that's their ultimate goal, is they will never touch you physically. They'll make you do it.
Actually, Johnny was on the call with us the other night, and he called out to all the vets and all the people that were struggling and maybe struggling with suicidal thoughts or going out and doing something violent, he said, you could call me, you could call Laura, you could call somebody, you could always reach out. Please reach out if you have gone that far with it and you're thinking about something like that, because what did they say, Johnny? Because they fool you a lot and they trick you, and sometimes people even try to make books, try to make you into a statistic and take control of your own mind.
Yeah, like if someone there's a lot of people who go out there and do mass shootings behind this stuff. And, you know, what I was saying is, you know, don't do that. Don't let them win. You know, plus there might be a group of people who are waiting on you to snap so they can go sell the story to the media and be like, oh, I knew this person personally. And they'll be laughing all the way to the bank while you're in the grave.
Me and him have both had TS call us up or try to get us to go do something the next day, or somebody will, you know, try to get you all riled and emotional about something and say, well, we need to go here, we need to go down to this person's house, we need to do this tomorrow. Don't get caught up in that. That's not reasonable, or I'm even going to use the word diplomatic way to...
So you're not coming with me tomorrow, Laura? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know our moves have to be swift, but have to be managed and planned.
Yes, there is a lot of people that get worked up and try to get you worked up, and be sure not to get emotional.
No, I was worked up the first year before I talked to anybody. I was pretty worked up. I go to the store and freak out and stand out in the parking lot while looking at people. I thought this one guy was after me. It was pretty crazy. I think back at that.
When I first found out about this, I lost my voice for 6 months and couldn't barely talk, and so I would be squeaking at people and moving my arms and trying to tell them about this and writing things down. So I seemed batshit crazy, I'm sure. But I had no voice, so I wasn't able to really. It took me 6 months to settle down, pretty much, from that.
I got warned. I was warned at an early age, so I knew what to be prepared for. But I didn't think it was ever going to happen to me. I called it beaming, and that person's being beamed. That's what I used to call it when I was a kid. Oh, it looks like they're being beamed.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't mean it made it any better. Matter of fact, it made it worse because I knew I wasn't having a mental breakdown, and then that's what really frightened me, that I knew it was real, and right off the top, just by the Kubark style interrogation at the beginning that they put me through. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. It's now 6:24, and we're enjoying our Christmas party and light talk. Well, not too light, but mostly subjects that interest you. And, of course, we will have a show on the 1st of January, too, and we will do a retrospect on every month and talk about the videos for the year and talk about 2023.
Okay, now this is interesting. Caller 00 says, my great aunt told me in 1975 we were being attacked with electricity through the floor. My grandmother also told me at the end of her life she was being attacked with electricity through the ceiling. The last night I was at that house, I did stay at that house after she died and fixed it up for a couple of years, and the temperature dropped about 10 degrees and the ceiling cracked, and I did feel like I was being electrocuted and left that house running. But I wonder about that. Yeah.
Is it near any facilities?
No, and I tracked where, I think it was the water line and the 100-foot pine tree and a combination of dirty wires that hadn't been redone throughout the house that was creepy. Also the grounding wire was taken, was cut. I mean, actually lifted from the house. It was cut, and when I went underneath too. When I had somebody look at the electrical, they said that the grounding wire was cut in the crawl space, and that was a pretty big deal. That was a pretty big deal. He was pretty alerted by that. I don't know exactly what went on there. Things that they can do to scare you to death. I know several people that have run from a $600,000 home, bought a motor home, decided to travel across the country because they can't get away from whatever is attacking them.
I bought a motorhome and I went to 34 RV parks and it followed me. Do we have a caller? Nope, I'm hearing things. Yeah, totally. I went in the RV like you're saying, but it follows you.
Hi.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. Come on in.
Hi, yeah, this is Michelle in Oklahoma. How are you guys?
We're enjoying our Christmas party. Just wrapping up, sitting here hanging out, talking and stuff. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. My perps are hard at it.
Yeah, they don't take Christmas off from what I found out today.
No, they don't.
I think they're all getting paid double time is what I understand.
Oh, it seems like it, that's for sure.
Well, Christmas is an important time, and that's, they anchor that in your head to ruin it. So they make your Christmas bad. Right. So all year you go around saying your Christmas is bad. So you have to fake it and pretend you had a good Christmas and ignore them, which is what I had to do. Yeah. And I set my expectations low, and if it exceeds that, I'm okay. So I know not after being targeted to not have any expectations at all anymore. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Well, you would think they would want to tune in, with their families and celebrate Christmas and with their children, especially, instead of 24/7, because my perps are 24/7, B2K and me, and they're trying to claim they've had me under investigation the last 5 years. It's former neighbors of mine.
I'm getting the same one. Yeah, they want me to turn myself in. And then when I listen to them say it, they say, turn yourselves in. And I've asked for 21 years, what does selves mean? They say everybody. And I go, so this has nothing to do with me. You just want everyone to just go to a sheriff's department and turn themselves in. And they go, yes. I go, oh, lovely. It's like, whatever.
For what? For what? Yeah, they're claiming they're going to come in with a search warrant tonight.
Oh, yeah, and they said the police will be here at 5 a.m. with me. Yeah, you're getting the same one I'm getting. Boy, that makes me feel better to hear that. Not better.
Yeah, but I bet mine's got something added.
Yeah, I feel bad you're getting what I'm getting, but I feel good that you know and I know
they're
now.
They're trying to claim they obtained a writ of replevin for custody of my two pets, my kitties I've had for 9.5 years. They're from their judge in a backroom deal.
Yeah, I have kitties too. I have 6 cats actually, and some are fosters. And I have one kitty right here, and I have a black kitty, a panther, and I love them so much. They're my whole life, and they know the cats are they're my babies, and they know your cats are your babies, so they're messing with you. They cannot take cats from your house. They're not children.
I know it's not legal. Legal.
They're just trying to stop. We were talking about that earlier on this recording in the call. They're putting fear in you. It's fear. Fear. Don't let them give you fear, but it happens.
They're making me mad.
Oh, man, they're angry. Oh, I know, because they get those sensitive stuff. They're like somebody that you would hang around that is totally not politically correct.
Yeah.
And the crap I've heard,
No.
they first said they were the Illuminati with me in 2003, and now I'm pretty sure it's organized. I know it's organized crime, and it's loosely involved with the sheriff that started with me and my neighbor from the DA. I had a drug relapse after 9/11, and it's been this way ever since. They never went away.
Okay, well, they keep saying that they've got warrants and charges on me, and the DA here says otherwise, and so do the police.
I know,
I don't have any charges.
you don't have no, and you don't, and you never will, because that's not how the DA
well,
works.
They want to try to frame me.
They don't talk to you through your head. They
I
so
see.
you're supposed to say, you're dummies because you're not the DA and you're not anyone important. They're just trying to scare us. But when I'm tired, they get to me when I'm tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my former neighbors, it started 5 years ago almost, started stalking and terrorizing me. And I had no idea what it was at the time. And so I moved and left everything in my apartment, and they ended up following me. And a couple of years ago, found out about organized gang stalking. And then about a year and a half ago, they started saying that they're informants hooked in with law enforcement, which if they are, that's crooked law enforcement. Because I'm not doing anything illegal.
There are a lot of ex-felons that do this, too. You're right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and
trade-off.
Informants are all felons.
Sure, trade-off. Yep.
Yeah, they tell me the same thing, and I'm pretty sure I agree. I'm sure, because it all started with me and the sheriff and the DA guy that was an alcoholic that was in AA and was trying to sober the whole neighborhood up. And he ended up dying. He had a liver problem and died, but he terrorized the neighborhood.
Oh, gee whiz.
Yeah, and he didn't even live there or was born there like me. He was a attorney renter that just showed up one day and he started taking over.
Wow. That's just evil.
I mean, he was an attorney, but he couldn't tell the difference between a Ford and a Lincoln. I bought a Ford sedan, and he thought it was a Lincoln. He goes, "You spent $48,000." I said, "28." And everything was exaggerated. He was just looking for trouble. Everything. I grew flowers. "Oh, when'd you grow those flowers?" And he would call my house. He was abusive to his dog. His dog hated him. The dog loved us, came over, and he's like, I don't know what to do with his coat. We used our famous Head & Shoulders human shampoo on the dog, and his hair and his coat and his itchy stopped, and he couldn't believe it, that we were able to solve it so easily. You got to listen to animals, and he didn't listen to anybody. So he was a perp. Yeah. So I went down the same channel you did, of course.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a thing. You just have to get in their scope.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know that, because every tiny thing I'm doing, any facial movement, when I go to the bathroom, anything, everything, they criticize everything and berate it. It's like I've learned to laugh at them now, but then I get pissed off at them too.
You're allowed to be upset with them.
They don't think so. They act like, how dare she try to stop us from doing this, and blah, blah, blah. We're going to go into a search warrant now and get her kitties and put her in a mental institution.
Yeah, they keep telling me I'm going to a nursing home for 20 years.
Oh, gosh.
I'm now 62, so I was 42 when they started that rhetoric. So you're going to put a 42-year-old in a nursing home? I don't think so.
Oh, my gosh. I'm 63 now. But, wow, it's been almost 5 years, but gee whiz.
See, they're going after seniors is what they're doing.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I just turned 62, and even before I was a senior, they were after me. But yeah, I know where it came from. It was my DA neighbor. But he's gone now, and they're all gone. But these perpetrators they got involved with who talk in my head don't go away.
Yeah.
Oh, do they tell you they're going to quit one time a day? They say, we're going to stop doing this soon. Do they do that one on you?
No.
Oh, you don't get that. I get that one every night when I go to bed. Yeah, mine say, we decided we're going to stop doing this. I go, right. You say that every night.
No, they never quit.
Okay.
I don't know how. Like my former neighbors, the specific to, they never sleep. I mean, how do they do that? Because I fall asleep hearing them and wake up hearing them, and there. And I wake up a lot.
Apparently, they do it in shifts, and a lot of it's AI, chatterbots, so it's automated.
Yeah.
As you'll notice, you'll hear the difference.
Yeah.
Kind of like a filler, kind of like a recipe where you use a filler. They can't talk that much, so they have shifts, 3 shifts, and AI to fill in the chatterbot. And they fill in the chatterbot with all their crap that they say to you. And then they copy what they say in the chatterbot to make it seem seamless.
Yeah. Okay. That makes
so they
sense.
do their own agent script and the AI chatterbot script are always usually the same to trick you, so you'll think you're talking to someone. Crazy, huh?
Yeah. And they repeat a lot.
Yeah, a lot of repeating. That's the psychic driving they think they're doing, but it doesn't work because what you'll end up doing is creating an aversion to it. And someone in the chat room just said they can copy people's voices, and they have done that with me, and they imitate the person and use their name and try to trick me too.
Yeah, they can do that.
Yeah, they can do that. They can copycat our voices, and they can also. I know this. They have the technology that you could be looking at someone on a screen, talking to them, and it can impersonate someone and know questions that only they would be able to answer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised how sophisticated they can be with as much information they know about me. I'm almost certain I have a clone of myself by now. So somebody in this hive mind in my head knows everything and every answer to everything I say, and I've read that there's cloning of people that being done.
Yeah. Yeah, years back.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, come on in.
Okay. So earlier you said, what did you say? That they want people to turn themselves in. So why, if they're being harassed, what are they turning themselves in for?
Well, in my case, I made up a whole bunch of stuff at the beginning, and I said that I used a modem in '87 to take $38 million to screw with them, and they keep bringing that up for 21 years. And then I had a conversation with someone on a chat room one time that was innocent, and they use that. So they pick and choose. But everybody's guilty with them because it's a law and order justice machine that is somehow involved with the DOJ in the United States. So everything's going to be persecuted, like a persecution.
Don't forget Homeland Security.
Yeah, well, it started when the Homeland Security started in my case.
Have y'all read Dr. Robert Duncan's Project Soul Catcher?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I just got it. I haven't read it yet, but
pretty good book. Were we able to answer your question? The person that asked that. Oh yeah, they think everybody's a criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's hard to understand. I mean, for me, I've got a squeaky clean background. It's like, what are you guys doing? From birth, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I knew as a kid because someone told me about this, so I knew to behave at 14 years old because you could be beamed. I knew you could be beamed, and so I knew I was being watched somehow. and not by my parents or the public. I just could feel it. Yeah, I grew up a Mormon. I don't even have a speeding ticket. I have A1 insurance and everything, and yeah, they're talking to me like I'm a street urchin. That's A1 criminal. It's the wildest thing I've ever heard, and they make up stuff all the time. So a lot of pedophilia. The pedophilia accusations are incredible. They go off of one conversation I had innocently, and they ask me all the time about pedophilia. So this is definitely organized crime and a group of dirty little Satan type Luciferian secret society people who are all organized crime. It's the only thing I can describe them as, organized crime.
Yeah, it is.
And if you were,
they're not gang stalkers, but they.
Now you know how psychology works. Psychology, where they project. So they're the organized crime criminals, but they're projecting their criminality on you, saying you're the criminal, not me.
Yeah, just like they're evil hate-filled, and they're externalizing their hate on us.
Well, they're not Christians, I can tell you that.
No, they're not. Not at all.
They're Luciferian and Illuminati types. They're little secret, sneaky around in back rooms and making decisions, like you said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I sometimes think that it's so, like, if they get busted, they can frame you for whatever they did.
It's hard to frame people these days when they can't even get crime under control and get the people that are actually doing crime now.
That's true, but back in the day, it wasn't, I've been caught up in that. I had a case.
Oh, yeah, before, but now everything's wild.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's harder now.
I don't want to get into politics, but you have Soros and his Open Society Foundation who are giving grants to getting these new progressive DAs into every big city. It's, letting the crime go rampant. And I'm not anti-Semitic. I know that Open Society is involved in that. San Francisco is going down right now. 2 different districts in San Francisco have chosen to maybe not pay their taxes to the city because they're not getting services. Every business has to have Narcan on site, which is for heroin overdose or the other for,
opiates,
Yeah.
What I don't understand is I thought fentanyl was for surgery. Like, the only time I've had an experience with that was when they put me under for surgery. So why is it all over the streets?
Because China brings it to us. They intercepted 2 million pounds of fentanyl and stuff from China going to Canada, but it comes through here through Mexico and such.
But I mean, what I'm saying is, how do people get high from it? I thought it just knocks you out. Like,
I don't know. I'm not into that kind of drug, but I don't understand it. Why people probably to get rid of mental pain too. People are hurting. They have to self-medicate somehow.
I'm betting, Laura, that their friends show them how to get high from it.
A lot of it's peer pressure, yes.
Yep.
And step up drug dealer. Oh, I'll sell you weed, but I got better stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Something that knocks me out cold isn't better for me.
I can't be knocked out. I want to know what's going on all the time.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
Me too. I agree, Chris.
This isn't the 70s. You can't trust the street drugs anymore. But it's funny, they got me sounding on my head like I'm a druggie. And all the things they say in my head about me must be them, because whoever's talking to me when it's live, they are messes, and they tell me they're felons. They said they made a deal with the police, and they have to do this for a living to pay off their bill. And, that could be a lie, but it just sounds so logical to me.
Surprised they're even telling you that.
Oh, they could be full of crap, and they always say they're the Illuminati, or they used to, and anyone can say they're the Illuminati. They do that in the rap music all the time. The New World Order talk and the Illuminati, and all that stuff. It's all done in Hollywood, and it's crazy. But there are actual Illuminati members, but not everybody like that would be Illuminati. That's chosen for a few strong people, not some person that has to work on Christmas Day talking in my head. And boy, I made fun of them today. I'm like, you're on the low end of the totem pole.
I'm not surprised they're telling you that, and I would tend to believe that, just knowing law enforcement and how a lot of these people have to work off a lot of stuff, and law enforcement will manipulate and use anybody to their advantage to do their dirty work.
Yes. Bingo.
So it's all logical.
And you have to remember the local law enforcement is federalized because they've been sneaking around in the background, federalizing police officers left and right. And departments get funds from the feds, so they have to do what the feds want in order to get money to keep their department going. And then you have the COPS program, Community-Oriented Police Service, which is a DOJ program that they all get funding from. Yep. They went around the posse comitatus, is that right? The rule where you don't have the military on the street, and instead they made the police the military. They did a workaround.
Yeah, but every country has had that in their favor. Hitler had his soldiers. Every country has had to have a military behind them. I mean, meaning whether they're brown shirts or law enforcement, they all act the same.
Well, they have dark triad personalities, so indeed you're right. Okay, we'll be stopping the recording in 12 minutes, so does anybody want to wrap up the recording with any Christmas messages or targeting discussions, anything? It's all open. It's open mic. It's your call. It's Christmas Eve or Christmas night, and we're going to put our Christmas trees away and all that stuff and wish Granny a Merry Christmas and move on to trying to solve this targeting.
Yeah, I'll say one more thing. This is John in Colorado. What y'all were just talking about, what we've got going on out there all over the world and why there's so many TIs everywhere. I was talking to one in Belgium the other day. I talked to them in England, South Africa. They're everywhere. And what's going on is you've got this technology race, like they used to talk about the arms race or the nuclear arms race. This secret technology is being shared secretly all over the world. And so all the governments that are trying to keep up, they're all doing the same thing, or they're covertly working with whatever the nearest power is to them, like all those little small states around Russia, they're heavily influenced by the KGB, anyone that's friendly with us, they're heavily influenced by the CIA and the U.S. military intelligence, Department of Defense. And it's just basically a technology race. And it's like, us TIs, we're kind of like concentration camp inmates. They're doing human experiments on us and testing out this technology, and it's worldwide.
I completely agree with everything you've said. Keep going.
Uh, that's pretty much. I just wanted to put my little 2 cents in there.
I appreciate that. I agree with you. It is a war weapons race. It is World War III, but a war that's done through asymmetrical methods, and cyber warfare is part of the C4, C5, and 6 ISR, and of course 6 means cyber warfare, and I think they're meaning cyber in the brain too. So yeah, it is advancing, and warfare is advancing because this call is about the fourth industrial revolution, and they're heavily involved in it. And it's about brain weapons and new technologies and cyber warfare.
Yep. Like in the concentration camps, like one experiment that they did, in Germany, they wanted to know at what, they wanted to take airplanes into higher levels of the atmosphere. So they made these pressure tanks, and they would get concentration camp inmates and put them in these pressure tanks to simulate, what it would be like that at that kind of altitude. And they knew they were going to die. And, or they might get 100, concentration camp inmates and know that 25% of them were definitely going to die. And then a lot of them were going to be almost dead. And they just did human experiments on people to test out technology. And that's basically what us TIs are, in a lot of aspects. We're inmates in a simulated, I wouldn't call it metaphorical. It's not a metaphor. It's very real. We're in a prison that we can't prove is there. And they're testing out this technology on us. And it's very, very inhumane. And if it was ever to go public, people would revolt. People would be throwing up.
No, most people join in and help them and do it. I'm surrounded by
and a lot of people do that because they're scared. They're scared that if they don't go along with it, that they're going to become a TI. Or maybe someone told them when they were young, "Hey, look, there's some."
Some people think that's a reason, and I say they enjoy doing it so much, and it's a cause they believe in.
All you have to do is say one little thing to someone with some type of power or know someone, and then you're done. It could be the littlest thing, or it could be nothing. It could just be at the wrong place, or in the wrong neighborhood, or at the wrong job, or in the wrong neighborhood in your car, or, yeah. Or you could be the biggest criminal in the world and still be targeted and never arrested because they're experimenting on you. Everybody gets treated equally because we're all being experimented on us, and all of us have different personality profiles and different situations in life, so they're getting across of every different type of person in the world. And yeah, it is a weapons race, and I believe 2 or 3 of our United States contractors, the big ones, are involved in it. I think Lockheed's one of them. I know they have a franchise that they sell. So Lockheed would definitely be most likely the one to push the secret technology around the world. And England and Germany and other countries are involved. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely Lockheed, which I grew up right on a Lockheed base. And then I also grew up playing Army in the Woods on a shut down Lockheed base. And I've got relatives and friends that work for Lockheed, and I know a lot of TIs that were involved in covert operations at one time through Lockheed. And I actually had Lockheed send me what I'll call a postcard. I won't go into the details. That was years ago when I lived in Georgia, in Marietta, where Lockheed Dobbins is. But, yeah, Lockheed's one of the big ones.
Lockheed and Raytheon, Huggy Bear was talking about. Yeah, Huggy Bear, Raytheon does the Raven's Claw, which is a directed energy weapon they're using in the Bay Area on a couple of people I know. Then there's hundreds of smaller little defense contractors and such. They just got like $900 billion. They got more money than the government got to run itself. Okay, 5 minutes left. We had a great call, a Christmas call. We had a Christmas party. Everybody got along. It was packed all day from 2 p.m. on. I'll be here for another hour. I'm going to turn the recording off in 5 minutes. I appreciate if you're watching this. We'll be back, of course, next week on the 1st for the year-end roundup. So I'll be going over the last year calls, and we'll discuss each one in detail for an hour. Okay. That'll be show number 40, I believe. And this is show number 39, and today, of course, is the 25th. This is the Christmas call. I've got Laura and Johnny helping me out, and we're discussing gratefulness and holiday topics. Of course, if you're watching me on YouTube, I appreciate it. If you're watching me on BitChute, if you got a couple bucks, donate it directly to BitChute. They're being attacked by HSBC Bank, and some terrorist activists decided to take down BitChute and have been doing it for a while, and now the bank's screwing with them. So if you could help BitChute at all greatly and help them, that would be awesome. I'd appreciate it. I'm on the bronze level, so I donate a little bit every month, but this is just another fight against free speech. And Chris Hedges today just told me that Substack is being attacked. They've taken RT television down. They've taken all sorts of alternate opinions or our opinions, and now they're weaponizing it all, and they're getting ready to take Substack down. So, if you could fight free speech, then go for it, please. Okay, 3 more minutes. Thank you, Laura and Johnny, for your input on the call. It's been a great call. We'll be here for another hour, and I hope to see more people next week. A lot of people showed up so far, so it's been working out really well.
Cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on, and yeah, I'm looking forward to these. It's pretty cool.
We'll get you hooked up. Don't worry about it.
So you said that we're going to be on like a conference call after the show for an hour?
Yeah, after this hour, I'll go to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm always 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Sunday, but I went from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. But today I have one more hour till 8 p.m. So I'm just recording this part.
All right, well, I'll see you at the conference call. I'm staying on the line. I'm going to hit my mute button now. But I'm still here.
Yeah, just stay right here, and I'll
Merry
shift
Christmas,
gears.
everybody.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, Sir Johnny. Merry Christmas, everyone watching this video, and we hope you'll tune in again next week. And the chat room says Merry Christmas. It's pretty busy. Actually the chat room was going so quick that I actually had to scroll down and read half. So that's a lot of activity on a Christmas. I'm glad you guys were all able to come in here for a Christmas call on a Sunday. And I don't know if I'll do another Christmas call because it won't be on a Sunday, but I will be doing the New Year's Day call. So come back next week for that, and I'll still be here for another hour. And if you want to come in person, please do so. Instead of watching the recording, you can come in, and by doing that, you can get that information at TargetedWest.com and scroll down at the info blog and click on my call, and you'll find the details. We're going to end the recording now. Thank you.